Hey guys, Keith here at Island Music, subbing for Jack today, who is under the weather. So I will be your Live at 5 tour guide today. I want to take a minute to thank everybody for an awesome Christmas season. I hope everybody had a really awesome holiday and enjoyed time with their family and friends. I know that I did. It was really cool to have 2 days off in a row. I can't remember the last time that I wasn't in a music store for Christmas Eve, so that was pretty cool. I hope everybody has awesome New Year's plans, and I hope that they're musical. I hope that you get out and see some live music or playing some live music, and we're looking forward to an awesome 2024. So I thought today what we would talk about is Fender's American Vintage 2 series. With Fender and in the music business and guitars in general, what's old is new again. So no matter what, I think us guitar players always go back to the old classic models, to the heritage stuff, right? Like Jimi Hendrix playing a Strat, Jimmy Page playing a Les Paul. Like, these moments can never be duplicated. So we are always kind of searching for that cool vintage vibe gear. So I have 6 different American vintage guitars, and I thought we'd do something a little bit different and play through them and kind of get an idea of some of the different tones that we can get from them and kind of show them off a little bit. So the first one I'm going to start with is really a Island Music favorite. This is the American Vintage 2 72 thin line Telly. So this guitar is really, really cool, and you can get a lot of different tones from it. So it's a semi-hollow body. It's got an ash body, beautiful natural finish, pearloid pickguard, maple fretboard, very classic looking. I'm sure that everybody has seen this guitar before. The neck profile is a little bit different. It's a C shape, and it has really tall frets. So really, really great for clean tones. So that's the humbucker, which all of the pickups in the American Vintage 2 line are designed specifically for that time period. So these pickups, the 72 Pure Vintage, just come in this guitar. So that's your bridge humbucker. We can go into both humbuckers. And then our neck pickup, which is really warm. And then this guitar sounds really great with just a mild overdrive. Kind of cool because you're getting almost like a cleaner, crisper overdrive than some other guitars, probably because of the semi-hollow and the humbucker combination. So that is a really, really cool piece. Beautiful instrument, feels really, really good. The tall frets are unique. The humbuckers sound super unique. So let's go from that one to another classic. So everybody has probably seen a Fender Butterscotch Blonde Telly, right? It's probably one of the most iconic Fender instruments that there is. So this guitar is the 51 reissue, and it's Butterscotch Blonde, transparent finish, if you can see that. Looks really cool because you can kind of see the wood grain through there. Really big neck on it. This has a really big V-shaped neck, so really feels really good for chording. Really chunky, meaty feeling. and super iconic just look to it. I mean, everything about it just screams vintage Fender. Think Bruce Springsteen, Keith Richards, some of your favorite iconic rockers have played this guitar. So let's give this one a listen. Notice the difference in output from these single coils, pure vintage 51 single coils, from the 72 pure vintage humbuckers. All right, so that's your bridge pickup there. Both pickups really smooth. And then we can go to our neck pickup. And then what I like to do with the neck pickup on these guys is if you roll your tone circuit all the way off, it almost sounds like an acoustic guitar. Okay? And then for overdrive, and I'm just using a really simple setup here. I'm using the new Paul Reed Smith Horsemeat transparent overdrive with a pretty mild gain setting on there. And then I'm using the Fender Deluxe Reverb Tone Master. This amp is super awesome too. We'll talk about this another time, but this has a DI out on it, which I'm using so you guys can hear the audio. Pretty cool. Super classic. Another thing to note is this has the brass saddles and a bone nut. So this guitar really resonates, really kind of sings. Super cool. I love this guitar. All right, next on our list, we will go through some offset guitars. So, I didn't think that I would like this guitar as much as I do. The pictures of this guitar do not do it justice. This Dakota Red is super cool in person. It looks really, really good. The pictures just don't show kind of the texture of the finish. It looks really, really nice. Got a white pick guard there. Really cool block inlay. Binding on the neck. And then I love on Fenders when they do the matching headstock. It just feels like kind of complete. So this guitar is your typical Jazzmaster setup. So you have your knobs and your switches and all that kind of stuff. This is modeled after a 66. And this guitar has a C-shaped neck, and then your pure vintage 66 pickups in there. And let's give this guy a listen. So we'll do something kind of jazzy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the neck pickup, and I'm going to roll back the tone, and then turn off the lead circuit. And you notice this guitar doesn't have quite as much sustain, especially when I use those settings. It's real warm, almost like piano-like. I'm not a very good jazz player, I'm a rock guy. All right, so overdrive. A lot of different changes that you can get from just using that tone control. Listen to that sweep. Surf style. Use both pickups there. Back to the neck pickup. Again, really cool color, awesome matching headstock, really cool inlays. This guitar you have to see in person. Come in and ask us about this one. It looks awesome in person, sounds really good, and they all come with the vintage style cases. All right, next one on our list is another 66 Jazzmaster. All the same features on here, except for we have the ever classic three-tone sunburst finish with the tortoiseshell pickguard on there, and then this one has a natural tinted headstock on there. Tones are going to be really similar on this guy. Really cool instrument. This is classic, but I gotta say, I love the red. All right, so now we will get to everybody's favorites. Okay. Here we are with a 1957 Strat. This is a super iconic instrument, super classic. Something everybody thinks about when they see a Fender Strat is going to be a Sunburst Strat with a maple fretboard. It's got the pure vintage 57 single coil pickups in there. They come in an ash or an alder body, depending on your finish. So if you're getting a transparent finish, it's going to be an ash body. If you're getting something painted, which we'll get to, that's going to be an alder body. Vintage style saddles on there. Lacquered maple neck. Vintage tuning keys on there, nitro finish, V-shaped neck on this guy, so it's a little bit of a different feel. And pro tip, if you are doing any kind of playing live, invest in a Boss TU3 tuner. This thing is a lifesaver. I have this muted right now, and it's a tuner, and these guitars are brand new out of the box. So they are still having the string stretch in. But man, this tuner is helpful. Cool. So really good bridge pickup. Okay, second position. Gets a little warmer. Middle. Fourth position. And then the neck. And then, of course, this guitar sounds phenomenal with overdrive. Okay, so there it is. The 57 American Vintage 2 reissue. Beautiful instrument. Really, really iconic. Everybody should have a nice Strat in their collection. All right. Last but not least, we're going for another American Vintage 57 Strat. This one is awesome. So all the same specs, except for this is in the beautiful seafoam green finish. I have a soft spot in my heart for seafoam green. It's one of the coolest Fender colors, I think, of all time. I have always said I wish Fender made something in their standard line in a vintage style seafoam green instead of with pearls in it or anything, kind of any different take on that color. It's really cool to see the original color on a Strat that you can buy. I mean, it's just awesome. So vintage tinted neck looks really awesome with the seafoam. So you have the aged looking pickup covers, knobs, switch tip, and then a white, and all the pick guards are single ply, which is kind of cool because that's period correct. It looks like it is from 1957, right? Vintage style saddles on there. Give it a whirl. Super awesome guitar. We have a ton of other American Vintage Series instruments. I just picked my 6 favorite to highlight. We have basses, we have other Strats, we have other Tellys, we have other thin lines, all kinds. So if you're in the shop, come on in and check them out. We try to stock the entire line, and it's really a good jumping off point for vintage style guitars. Over the last couple years, we've really kind of built our inventory to have a lot of vintage style Fender instruments in stock from the custom shop, and then obviously all the production stuff. But these guitars really give you a good feel for what Fender can do to recreate some of the classics. They're just super guitars, and in my collection I have a vintage style Strat, a American Vintage before the Vintage 2s, and a 1965 Strat as my vintage style, and then I have a older American Deluxe as my more modern style Strat. And it's cool to have both in my toolkit depending on what I'm doing. One guitar will lend itself better than the other to them. So we have all these in stock right now at Island Music. Feel free to come in anytime and check them out. I'm happy to talk more about specs with you. If you're interested in kind of deep diving in that, there's certainly a lot to learn. And kind of what I always think is you can read the specs online and kind of get a feel for what the instrument is, but nothing is like playing the instrument in person and sitting down and having a palette of different ones to try and really get a feel for what you like. Maybe you don't like the tall frets. Maybe you don't like a lacquered neck. Maybe you do. Maybe you like vintage style pickups, but you want a C-shaped neck. It's really best to sit down and play all these different instruments and really get a feel for them. Please feel free to give us a call or shoot me an email, keith@islandmusicco.com, or come by anytime we're open. That's what we're here for, is for you to experience these things and get a feel for all the different instruments that are out there. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope I did a good job filling in for Jack. I hope Jack's at home resting up, and it's really nice to hang out with you guys, and hopefully I'll be invited back to Live at 5 sometime. See you guys. Have a great New Year.